Boys, today, I'm tired of pretending that these conspiracy theories that I'm going to lay out to you guys aren't just straight up facts at this point, but I haven't heard a lot of people talk about these conspiracy theories, and I need all of you guys to go get them tinfoil hats on, and I need you just to hear me out for this video, because I'm going to give you guys only 3, because I think you guys can only handle 3 of my rare conspiracy theories at a time. So we're going to run through 3 rare MMA, specifically UFC conspiracy theories that I 100% believe in. And low-key, I have some evidence to back it up as well. But let's start off with the one I have the most evidence for, and the one that I just believe the most in. And once you hear me out, once I lay out all of this information and all the facts, I guarantee this isn't just going to be conspiracy theory anymore. This is just going to be straight up facts. But let's get into the first one. I've heard people, we all know Jon Jones, a little bit fruity out here. But I think the reason Jon Jones is gay is because them steroids turned him gay. Now, hear me out before you guys go out and be like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. There is literal research done that goes and proves that steroids do mess up your chemistry in your brain and do turn you a little bit gay. There has been studies on studies. There have been people out here who have taken steroids and have started being a little bit fruity out here. And don't just take my word for it. Let's run through, my boy, More Plates, More Dates. He's already covered this, years ago, which I don't understand why people don't, understand that this is just a fact nowadays.
Yeah, for this guy, he's on trend. It's bringing out his weird fetishes. He's craving sucking dick 24/7, but only trannies. And it's even making him want to get fucked in the ass. He's legitimately on Tinder about to get fucked by a crossdresser. What to do? Should he go through with it or just jack off instead?
So right now, we're talking about trend. We don't know if it's just trend that does this weird shit to your brain. It could be a whole bunch of other, steroid type performance enhancing that does, completely change your brain. And who's to say that our boy Jon Jones hasn't taken some trend right now? But who knows that this isn't Jon Jones, writing this out right now either. I mean, low-key, it's starting to all pile on, it does sound like, this might be Jon Jones writing this himself. And if we just run through, what Derek has to say here, he does break down the science about it. So here it is, the sciencey parts about it.
So anyways, progesterone, an often overlooked hormone that does have significant interplay in sexual preference and appetite. And there has actually been clinical data to reinforce that homosexual activity is higher in individuals that have been exposed to more progesterone. Trenbolone, progestogenic signaling, as well as progesterone is also used to enhance libido in guys on TRT, for example. Now, I'm not saying it will, it can actually kind of act like an anti-androgen in some cases at high enough doses, which can have a negative impact on libido. But in a neurological context, it can be a neurosteroid precursor that leads to more synthesis of things like allopregnanolone, which can significantly upregulate, sexual appetite, libido, as well as push your sexual preferences more, away from what is your normalcy.
And again, I'm not saying that Jon has been like this his whole life. I don't think it's been his whole life like this, because I have pinpointed a exact time where we have saw Jon Jones just get a little bit too much, fruity out here. We can see, demeanor changes. We can see him just saying some out-of-pocket statements. But before we get into that, we have to break down exactly where it happened. And I low-key think it all happened during the DC buildup. The first DC buildup, specifically even more into the second DC fight. And then after that, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And like right here, we have the first example of the shift in Jon Jones. The first DC fight, he had some out-of-pocket moments here. Like he says he's going to make him his wife and all this stuff. Just some out-of-pocket statements.
And it's going to be just me, Jon, and someone else.
Ooh, yeah.
And that's when it's going to get good.
It's going to be intimate.
And passionate.
And passionate. I'm going to make him my wife.
Not that kind of presser.
You're going to be Mrs. Jones for the night.
That is not true. That could never happen,
I'm going to rub on that big old belly, and you're going to like it.
Yes, you will. It's going to be right in your face. I'm going to put it right in your face. I'm going to take it on. I'm going to smother you with my big old fat belly.
Am I going to like it?
Hey.
It's actually pretty. It's actually kind of nice.
And then it just gets worse and worse. A few years later, we get into the second DC fight, and you guys might not remember this, but look at the facial expressions. The facial expressions have completely changed on Jon Jones, where he has more of this, fruity, flamboyant facial expressions. Just the way he talks as well is way more fruity. And again, I think it's because of we do know in this fight, it turned into a no contest. Why? Because he popped.
He did try to have a commentating job, but he sucked at it.
No, actually, I got offered.
You did, and you tried, and you sucked at it. Let's just be honest. You tried, and you sucked.
I did Fox Sports, literally got thrown on me at the last minute. Dana White was like,
sucked.
dude, how young was I? I was like 24 years old, and they gave me the opportunity, and it was like.
You still sucked.
Let me tell you what I don't suck at is, you saw already. You were crying on Ken Velasquez's shoulder. So
well, I'm gonna prove to you.
Actually, you know what? I don't want to be a commentator. I just want to make you cry backstage again.
You just want to beat me as I want to beat you, but I'm still going to be a commentator to make more money.
I want to beat you.
Yeah, you want to. You won't do it again.
I already beat you.
But you're not going to beat me on Saturday
night.
You're
not going to beat me. Okay, sure, Daniel. Okay.
Now, we don't know if he wasn't taking some, other steroids there that just never got caught, but you never know. But even after that fight, we've also had some just weird out-of-pocket things from Jon Jones. Like when he was fighting Dominic Reyes, a perfect example for it. If you guys forget that classic moment, it's right here.
He's tall. People think I do bad against tall people, so I'm excited for this challenge. He's undefeated. This guy tickles my pickle.
And look, you can see right there after he tickles my pickle, you can see that little smirk he gives. He knows what just happened. And then Dominic Reyes is just right there, dumbfounded that, the GOAT, Jon Jones, is coming out in front of everyone during this press conference. But yeah, there's probably more. But, I think the proof is in the pudding. I guarantee, those steroids we saw, you could see clear as day, especially in that second DC fight, how much more flamboyant this dude has been. And we all remember he got, he popped for some PEDs in that fight and turned into a no contest. I think that was the prime, at least right now, the prime gayness of Jon Jones. But who knows, during the off cycle, because this dude doesn't fight very actively. He's always on, off. And during that off season when he's getting into trouble with the law, I guarantee he's on that sauce, especially for those arrest videos where he's crying while handcuffed and slamming his head on police cars.
I hate you. I hate you.
Fruity behavior during the famous incident in that comedy show,
Uh-huh. You're a little drunk, I assume. Poquito.
There's a lot of moments that have been swept under the rug, and again, I guarantee it's because this dude is on steroids, and the steroids have made this dude gay. Let's go down to my second UFC conspiracy theory that I, again, 100% believe in. I think, we go look at before and afters, we go look at past and presents, we go look at how people acted before and how they act now, facial structures, and just overall demeanors. Someone kidnapped Conor McGregor back in I don't know exactly when, but I'm going to say, I 100% noticed it during the Cowboy fight. Someone in between either the Khabib fight and the Cowboy fight, in between there. It could have been during the Khabib fight, it could have been after. I don't think it was after the Cowboy fight, but somewhere in between, someone kidnapped that Conor McGregor and has replaced him with some clone version that we know now. And again, it's just demeanor, facial structures. People say, yeah, but it's the steroids and all that. Okay, not just that, it doesn't change the way you talk. It doesn't change your demeanor. It doesn't change all of these other things. We go look at some of some old Conor McGregor moments, and we have some classic here.
I said I was going to put him away in the first round. I put him away in the first round. I said it last year. We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over. Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking D-O-double-G.
And we just have classic moments from Conor McGregor that, yes, you can say it's because he's featherweight. He's featherweight. Featherweight Conor McGregor is completely different. But even if we go look at when he went up to lightweight, doesn't even look like the same, doesn't talk the same. And we look at the new Conor McGregor.
Thank you for having me in your mom's basement.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Coach Mac Daddy in the place.
Again, people can say facial structures is because of the steroids, and I agree because of that. The face can change because of steroids, but it's even just demeanor and just the way he looks, the way he talks. The talking has gotten, Guru has nailed it perfectly. Before it was very happy, energetic, 50 G's, baby. And now is just angry, bitter, borderline wanting to kill people, just rats, and just fully changed the Conor we know. And not only that, fight styling has changed. And before we had Conor McGregor as one of the best, like it or not, Conor had one of the best fight IQs in the game. Some of the best mid adjusting, able to find that shot perfectly because of that fight IQ and being able to adjust mid-second. Where we go into, especially that Dustin Poirier fight, the second one, completely different fight style. He should have known that, okay, it's not working out. First round, not working out that well. Let's adjust. Let's do something different. None of that happened. Like old Conor, yes, you can say ring rust this, ring rust that. I don't think ring rust really affects the IQ and just the basic understanding that someone like Conor McGregor would have. And, people are saying, the steroids is a prime reason. Okay, maybe it is, because I'm looking at it now and, back when he was on the sauce, I don't know if you guys remember the Twitter incident, but kind of aligns like what I've been saying with Jon Jones too, the Twitter incident. Not only the Twitter incident, you had the yacht incident too. There's a lot of weird things that happen during that whole steroid saga of Conor's career. And maybe it's because that's not the OG Conor. That's some weird ass clone. We're going full BJ Penn in this video, but let's move down to the third thing. I believe in this one too. I just don't think it needs like a whole, 10-20 minute video on it. It's a very short, like 1 minute explanation. I fully believe Ciryl Gane was paid to take a dive against Jon Jones. Let's go into the facts. Facts is that we just lost the lineal heavyweight champion in Francis Ngannou. Ngannou went, like it or not, he went all 5 rounds, tooth and nail. It was a close fight with Ciryl Gane, but they went all 5 rounds. Now, Ciryl Gane, he needs to come back in here. He took the former lineal heavyweight champ to a decision. We have the promotion's GOAT, Jon Jones, coming in to fight for that heavyweight belt. The UFC need Jon Jones to wipe Ciryl Gane like it was nothing. Or else, if Ciryl Gane beats Jon Jones, it's gonna look like they don't have the best champion in the world. It's gonna look like Francis is still the best and baddest man on the planet because he beat Ciryl Gane. And just quickly go look at the fight against Jon Jones and Ciryl Gane, and then look at Ciryl Gane against any other fight before or after. It doesn't make sense how easily Jon Jones took him down and how easily and fast he tapped. Do you not all remember how even the commentators were confused how fast and easy Jon Jones made it look? And I do know we're gonna have the Jon Jones Glazers come out here just say, yeah, it's because he's that good and this and that, but it's just very convenient timing and convenient the way it all happened. Because then, we go to Jon Jones's next fight and he's taking Stipe Miocic to like the championship rounds. He doesn't finish him in the first minute like he does a Ciryl Gane. If we go look and we see, okay, who's the bigger threat, Ciryl Gane at that time or Stipe Miocic at that time? And I think we all know what the answer is. And you can't convince me that Ciryl Gane didn't take a dive, because it's not just the fight itself, it's the after fight performances after that. And after the fight, what has Ciryl Gane been doing since then? Let's quickly run through his career real quickly. See how many times he's fought. This dude wasn't making a lot of money, It's not like he was a champion. Yes, he was a interim champion, but he didn't make like life-changing amount of money prior to that to be able to just walk away. But Jon Jones, he fought Jon Jones May 4th, 2023. Since then, he's fought twice. You're telling me a up-and-coming UFC prospect who is currently in the prime of his career is only going to be fighting twice in the heavyweight division where they can do quick turnarounds here, especially someone like a Ciryl Gane who's getting quick knockouts here and quick finishes out here? You're telling me he can't just run back and keep going? No, it's because the UFC paid this dude to take a dive. That's just the facts of the situation, like it or not. Before that, we had a fairly active, Ciryl Gane fighting 2, 3, 4 times a year, where now he fights, if we're lucky, 1 time a year. And yeah, it's the facts, it's the conveniency of it. And let me know in the comments below, do you guys have any other UFC conspiracy theories that you believe are 100% true? Because at the end of the day, all this shit just makes too much sense. If you put that tinfoil hat on, a lot of this stuff starts to make a lot of sense, especially if you watch this video like late at night when you're sleep deprived. This shit makes a lot of sense. But let me know in the comments below if you have any of your own. Thank you for watching to the end of the video, and I will see you guys in my next video.